dum 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 dum
Space between, space between, space between. Space between.
Why, hello. Oh, already fucking interrupting.
That's how I do it.
This is the Space Between podcast where we talk about the space between life and art, passion and business, what's happening now and what's happening next. I'm Pat Shand.
I'm Amy Shand.
We have a guest in the house today, but I do want to say, for those who are live streaming, watching the live stream, you're not going to see her. So this is one of the episodes where I'd say you can hear her probably, but it's going to be imperative for you to, if you have a question here, to end up watching the edited video where we're going to have an angle on us, an angle on the wide shot, and an angle on our guest. And let me introduce our guest. She's the beautiful. She is the utterly unique,
The one and only.
the lovely Janice Shand.
Hello.
No, yeah. Talk now. Yeah.
Hi. How are you?
For those who aren't aware, Janice Shand is my mother. You gave birth to me, huh?
I sure did.
And
45 years ago.
the truth is that I'm 32. So it was 32 since you felt the pains of labor. How was that? The actual labor?
It wasn't bad. I didn't expect it to come as early as it did.
Right.
Because you were early.
Okay.
The day before, wait,
After.
the day after your birthday.
Right.
Yeah.
The gift I cannot return.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Bars.
Oh, wow. So you're May 23rd, and I was born May 24th.
Yes.
Did the labor pains start on your birthday or on mine?
On yours.
Oh, wow. So
Yeah.
pretty much what I hear is that I let you kind of like have your last birthday pre-me.
Yes.
Before I was a pre-me.
Yes.
Oh my God.
No, you were not a pre-me.
That was my
Yeah.
next question. If I was actually, like, if I qualified to be premature.
No, because you was 6 pounds, 10 ounces.
I was 6 pounds, 10 ounces.
Yes.
Now, what is a 6 pound, 10 ounce in like Starbucks terms? Like how many drinks is that, do you think?
It's a lot.
Probably like 20 drinks.
Like a gallon of milk.
Wow. that came out of you.
Yes.
Were you leading up to the birth, were you scared, excited? What did you feel?
I wanted to go home and make believe it wasn't happening to me.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, I was afraid.
Yeah.
And you were supposed to come out, and you didn't because your shoulder was stuck on the umbilical cord.
Oh,
Oh
man.
no, you were tangled up.
Yes.
And was that a threat to my life or
Yeah.
what?
It was a threat because they need to make sure that you had enough oxygen to be able to breathe.
Wow.
So they, for some reason, they didn't do a cesarean right away. But what they did was they actually went in with an instrument
Right.
and took a piece of your scalp to test the oxygen in it.
Damn.
Probably have a scar under your hair.
So
Wow.
they did it 3 times. And the last time they said, let's get this boy out of her.
Right.
So in other words, I wasn't surprised. I didn't know if you were a boy or a girl. But when I heard, let's get this guy out of her,
Yeah.
then I knew you were a boy.
Man, they were scalp scraping, huh?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Never knew that about you.
I never knew that about me.
Nice.
But you know what's crazy though?
What?
That story makes me think. I had issues with the umbilical cord when I was being birthed. I still have issues with my belly button now. Right? That makes me kind of think that I was always destined to have these issues. Belly button's pretty much.
Like it's a Freudian thing. It just stuck with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like they almost caused my deaf belly buttons from jump, you know?
No, well, this is not true.
Oh.
But it's just something a lot of infants and a lot of boys and men
Yeah.
get this. It's just something. It might have been from as you were older, straining, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because women have it. Men have it. It's just, I don't think it has anything to do with where you were stuck, because where is your shoulder.
Well, hold on.
Unless you have something on your shoulder.
You're talking about my umbilical hernia. I'm more talking about my fear of belly buttons in general.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah, like a deep-seated fear.
Yeah.
But hold on, we have some comments coming in. We have comments from Chris Wilkinson. comments timing, that he is on time to see this episode. Randall Begins also says, perfect timing. I just woke up. I can
Hello.
barely hear her. Now, Randall, that's what I was saying before, is that this episode, we have a guest, so we have 2 cameras shooting, and we have 2 mics going. So on the live stream, you're not going to be able to hear her too much here. Be sure to watch the actual final edited podcast, which will be up on YouTube and Facebook on Tuesday, where you'll see her face, you'll see the wide shot, but for now, this is us recording our angle. So if you can hear her, great. If not, I'm sorry, but that'll be for the final edited podcast. Jamie Colombo comments, and Jamie Colombo, his family, is watching live and comments, hi Janice, love you guys, miss you.
That's nice.
Yeah. You and I have a lot in common, Mom. One of the things that struck me in that story was that when you went to the hospital, you were trying to deny that you were giving birth.
I wasn't denying it. I just wanted it. I wasn't ready for you.
Right.
You weren't supposed to come for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And I wasn't ready. I didn't know how to do anything.
Yeah.
And your father told me how to make formula,
Yeah.
how to hold you the right way, like a football.
Yeah.
Because at this point, he had already had 2 sons.
Exactly. And he was an expert. I had no idea what to do.
And you were more familiar with, like, the preteens.
Yes.
You know, because you hung out with them and you helped, and you know, with them, but they weren't babies.
Right.
You know?
So it was difficult. I didn't know how to give you a bath. Aunt Lorraine had to bathe you and change you.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's
Yeah.
weird to think about
Yeah.
because the first time you have a kid, there are so many new things.
Right.
There's every single thing is something you've never really had to do before.
Right. And plus, too, your body went through a total change. So your hormones are like,
Yeah.
flaring all over the place.
Yeah.
Right.
But then about 2 or 3 days later, I said, oh, and then
You should have got this.
that was it.
Do you feel like instincts took over?
Oh, yeah. Definitely. It's just that, the love is no words.
Well, yeah. How soon did you love me? Because I've heard stories where when you first give birth, or when certain parents first experience birth, first it's more stress than love, because the baby, even though it was part of you, it is a stranger, whereas some felt that instinctual love from birth. Did you feel that from the start, or did you grow to love me?
I felt it from the start, but I didn't know what it was.
Right.
I remember looking at your face after I had you, because what happened was when you were supposed to be born and Dad was supposed to be in the room, but because they had to get you out with forceps,
Yeah.
and they didn't do cesarean, but I guess it's, when you came out, you were all bruised, all red and
Yeah.
stuff, and I looked at you and I just said, oh, I wonder, who's going to marry you? Yeah.
That's what you
Yeah.
thought?
Yeah.
Ah,
I thought you were just.
Who would have thought it would be her,
Yeah. I mean, and then, after, a couple of hours, and I saw you again, and it was, the bruises were like, almost faded, and you
Right.
were this beautiful boy. And I said, oh, everybody's going to want to marry him.
So when you saw me all bruised up and stuff, did you think that I was going to grow up to have a problem?
I wanted to make sure that, number one, that you were healthy.
Right,
That was
right.
my main concern. But I just wanted to make sure that people knew, that you were gonna do something and be someone and just flourish.
Yeah.
But when I saw you, you get like a pain in your stomach because it's almost like with the mother with a sick child, and then when the child is better, it's like,
You feel
why
better.
was I even thinking that?
Yeah.
But that was the feeling. Yeah.
That's so interesting. And plus, I mean, just you describing how you were in the hospital, that reminds me of how, I have one memory. And for those who are listening, I've told the story before, but I had a late-term circumcision. I was circumcised when I was 5 years old. So I have some memory of them cutting that little dick, And my strongest memory was before the cut, I was going into the hospital, and I knew what I was there for. I'm not sure why you and Dad told me, but you were honest with what was going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
I remember the doctor, and this sounds like a bit. This is the truth. They put the anesthesia mask over my face as I was chanting, I'm not here for the penis. I'm not here for the penis. I'm not here for the penis. Which is also what I say when I walk into a room of co-eds, you know? But I that's what I was doing. I remember saying that exactly. And then
So funny.
I woke up and the world was different, you know?
You were there for the penis, turns out.
Yeah, yeah, I was there for the penis. So can you give me a bit of what happened? Like my dick's... the prequel to it becoming the penis that it is now. What was the deal with my late circumcision? Why didn't you get that little dick snipped at first?
Well, I wanted to do that,
Yeah.
but the doctor was concerned because before I had you, I had a sonogram,
Okay.
and they saw a black spot on what they thought was a black spot on a kidney. They weren't sure if it was coming from me or you. They didn't know. They just saw whether it be a shadow or whatever. So they were always concerned about that. So they had said they wanted to make sure when you were born that you were able to pee okay.
Right.
And you could, a lot. But they thought that because it was like 2 days later, that's when you stayed in the hospital for 3 days. It used to be a week, then it was 3 days. Now it's like you go home 2 hours later.
Right.
But whatever. So they wanted to make sure that by doing that surgery, circumcision after 2 days would be safe.
Okay.
So the doctor said, we're not going to do it. And I just said, I think you should do it. But they had said, we'll do it if you, but it's not recommended.
Like it's
so,
not advised.
yeah, so I said, okay. And then I took you to the doctors like a year later, and I said, can we get this done? And then they had said, you're too young to be put under unnecessarily.
Oh, so when I was an infant, a newborn, I wouldn't have had to go under. But now that I was a year old, I would have to avoid the pain.
Right.
Wow. So it was like a window that was missed.
Yeah. And all the doctors would say, oh, no, it's fine. But, I knew there was something that had to get done because it wasn't good.
Well, why wasn't it good, though? What specifically wasn't good?
You know the story?
Well, I know part of it.
Well,
Okay.
we had to make sure that you were clean.
Right.
And so what happened was apparently, you were getting bigger.
I was getting tall.
You were getting bigger all around.
Oh, okay.
And I think you outgrew. I think the inside of the box got bigger than the box.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay, so it was as if, it was sort of as if I had been born in a size small shirt. A turtleneck, one side. And then I had grown to a medium-sized boy.
Yes. So Dad and I had to be cleaning you, and it was painful for you.
Oh, I have a memory. It's one of my earliest.
Yeah.
I have a memory, and this could be wrong.
Okay.
So tell me if this person wasn't there. Because sometimes, I know that when it's a distant memory, sometimes memories will mix. Like, say, if you had company over, and then family was cleaning my penis, I might mix those memories.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I had a memory that I was on the floor, and my junk was being cleaned.
Mm-hmm.
And who was there was you and our across the street neighbor, Norma.
Oh, definitely not.
Okay.
Oh, no. Only Dad and I.
Oh, really?
Only Dad and I, and it was in your room.
Oh, I remember being in my room.
Yeah, but never anybody but Dad and I, because I couldn't do it by myself, because, you would have a pan with soapy water, the clear water and stuff like that,
Oh, boy, yeah.
Yeah, it was not good. And then when we finally, I said, I'm not doing this anymore. And then when you went to kindergarten, they had to evaluate you to see, if you knew your ABCs and your colors. And, of course, you were like a whiz at 4 years old.
No
You know everything.
Yeah.
And what happened was the teacher took you into the hallway, and Dad and I were waiting with the principal or the head of the school. And she came back and she said, can I talk to you a minute? And we said, yeah. And she said, your son, Patrick, knows everything. He's ready for kindergarten or pre-K, whatever it was.
Yeah.
But he wanted to know if I was going to pull his penis. So I explained. I said, this is what we have to do. And thank God they believed me. Yes.
Could have gotten arrested,
Oh
Yes.
my God, dude!
And I just said,
Yeah.
I'm not doing this anymore. So we went back to the doctors.
You're pretty out of control at
And
this point.
we got another doctor,
Yeah.
a urologist, I guess it would be.
Yeah.
And it was a great, big, tall, handsome black man with beautiful alligator shoes, sharp as
Like alligator
anything.
skin shoes?
Yeah,
He had gators?
sharp,
Wow.
and so nice, And I didn't know who he was and everything. And he said, "Let me see your boy. He's so cute and this and that." And he goes, "Oh, get this boy circumcised now."
Hell yeah.
So I said, "Whoa,
That's my dude right there.
that's right. That was my dude too."
Yeah.
And that was it. And then after we got out of the hospital the same day, and you were pissed. You were in the baby
It was the
seat.
same day.
Same day.
That's crazy. Do you ever have a memory where you just, when you hear the truth, you're like, wow.
Because it was an emergency circumcision.
It wasn't really an emergency. It was scheduled,
Same day.
but they don't keep you.
Well,
Because,
no. I'm more surprised because I guess I felt like I was out for a week. You know? And, wow.
Yeah, well, you didn't get dressed for a week. You refused.
It hurt probably.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sure it did. I'm sure it was healing, And then, but you were so mad that your face got real red. You were so angry, me and Dad. So angry, And then Nanny was here taking care of you when I went to work and Dad went to work. And Nanny was able to, you had a pair of pajamas on that just had like little box shorts.
Yeah.
And that's what you wore for about a week. And that's how you learned to pick up money with your toes.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
And then every day we'd have gifts for you on the coffee table.
Wow. That's really nice.
Yeah.
Wow. You were, what made you such a caring mom? Like, what do you think, like, was it the way that you were raised? I always felt, looking back, you always did so much extra for me. And that actually, why not now? I have to offer an apology to you
For what?
of a memory that I have. So I want to see if you remember this, okay? I was at my friend's house. And for those who are watching, this is Chris Halton's house. He's the flat earth rapper. And an interesting thing about him is that back then he didn't believe the earth was flat. He was a child, and he actually knew more about the shape of the earth as a child than he does now. But I was there, and I was very into Pokemon cards at the time. And I called you to see if I could maybe stay an hour longer, and you had just gotten home from a trip with Dad out somewhere. And you said that you have a surprise for me. And I was like, oh, what's a surprise? And you're like, I'm not going to tell you. And I said, is it Pokemon cards? And you said, it's something like Pokemon cards. And then I kept bothering you on the phone and wouldn't let you get off the phone until you told me what it is. And you said it was a Pokemon magazine. And at that point, I had gotten so excited for the Pokemon cards. Do you remember this?
No.
That I was like, a magazine! And you thought I was so ungrateful. And I hung up the phone. And then when I got home, I was looking through the magazine. And you were pissed off because you had got me this magazine. And here I was wanting the cards, But I read the magazine. I was like, oh, this magazine's fucking awesome. This magazine's so good, Like, I still remember the magazine more than I would remember what you would have gotten me for the cards. So I have to say, I apologize, Mom.
That's all right.
The magazine was amazing.
Officially, thanks for the magazine. Is what he should
You're welcome. My pleasure. Anytime.
Yeah.
You would like the magazine more because there's more words to read.
There's words to read, there was beautiful pictures, and there was information about the cards that I wouldn't have known otherwise. But yeah, I guess let's fast forward to when you two met, Going in, because I was scared to meet your family, You had 4 brothers, still have them actually,
Yeah.
And I had only dated women who had 1 brother before. And
But they're younger brothers. It's not like they were super protective or
Right.
anything like that because I'm the oldest sibling, so it's a different dynamic. It's not like I had like all these bodyguards like how you'd be scared of. It's like they're babies, you know.
Right.
Especially when you met them, Troy was a total baby.
Troy was, yeah, but the other brothers look like Thor pretty much, you know? Like, you have, like,
That's just the way they are.
yeah, so that really balanced out the age, you know?
Yeah,
It really
I
did.
guess.
But yeah, when I met them, I was so relieved that I liked them. But were you at all scared to meet her?
I wasn't scared because like I do it's hard to explain kind of like when it comes to like my romantic relationships and stuff. I'd already been in a place where I'm not someone where it's like, oh, if someone has if my family doesn't 100% like someone, then that's like a deal breaker for me sort of thing, because I was very set and am very set in like my own personality and more like, because I remember I brought my girlfriend home, you know, before Pat. And just because like my dad thought it was weird or whatever, I wasn't going to stop seeing her. So I wasn't nervous, like scared like it was going to be a test that I had to pass, because in my heart, I felt like Pat and I were great together. So whoever wouldn't see that wouldn't be seeing it correctly.
Right.
That's how I felt.
Wow, that's
as
nice.
like an adult
I mean,
in my own. But that's not to say that I didn't have respect for like your mom and stuff. I was super excited to meet her because I was excited to show her like how we're great together. So then when we met, it was already kind of on a level of like, I'm so excited to meet you. I want to learn about you, you know, and she wanted to learn about me. And so we always just got along really well because I never felt a sense of trying to prove myself to her, because I just presented myself and she totally accepted me like 100% from the jump. So I was like, this is great. So I wasn't scared, and it went even better than I would have imagined to meet her at first. Like when she came to visit was the first time that we met. She came to San Diego.
Right.
And that was super fun because you don't travel often, you know, and you took a plane and
By
you
myself,
came to see
yeah.
us by yourself, and you were able to see like where we lived. And I think that you had visited Pat once before, maybe before we were together, or no?
No.
To see, okay, so that was the first time you saw his apartment and stuff like that. And it was so fun to show you like the city. We went to dinner and this and that, and yeah, I just think it was great. It's just been a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm wondering now, was it the first time?
Yeah, because all right, so I moved to San Diego.
Right.
I arrived on Christmas Eve.
Right.
And I was already dating Amy by early spring.
Right.
So you wouldn't have been able to get there before that.
That's true, and I got there because I was there for Mother's
You
Day.
were there for Mother's Day,
Right.
yeah.
Yes.
And so, yeah, you were there early into our relationship.
Yeah, but you guys weren't. You were together, but not
I
living
hadn't
together.
moved in
Right.
yet.
Right.
It was fun.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you see my old place or no?
No, never saw your old place.
Okay, because
No, you
I
can't.
just rented a room at a friend's house.
Right.
So
Right.
I was at Pat's a lot too.
Yeah.
At that point, I was like just about to move in anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much. But yeah, it was a really great time.
So can you tell us what you thought, like set the scene for when you first met Amy and your first impression?
Okay.
And if there's anything negative, please feel free to include that too.
Well, if there was, I would say it, but I can't because there's not.
Oh, wow.
You know, that's just the way it is. I remember meeting her, and she was just so like fresh air, you know. And she was like jumpy. She would skip, you know. She would start.
She would skip.
Yeah, she'd start to laugh, and we went to this place where
Just so you know, she was of age, for those who were watching when I met her. Just so you know.
Oh no, she just
Yeah.
you know, she was just like flitty, like so cute, and this beautiful hair and still beautiful hair. But we went to this place, and you pay like a certain amount of money, and you could eat whatever you want, you know.
Yeah.
And she was this little skinny girl, and I'm a little skinny girl. I'm saying to myself, how is she going to do this? And she went place to place and had all this different kind of food and stuff.
Oh, that was the buffet that closed
Yeah.
down.
Buffet.
That's
Oh,
right.
did they
Yeah.
So I remember you guys sitting opposite me, and I said to you, I think you were walking ahead before we got to the place, and I said, "Oh my God, she's gorgeous." And he said, "Yeah, I know." And it was because even though you're beautiful, like if a stranger looks at you and oh, you're beautiful, but Patrick already knows that, and he goes like beyond your beauty
Definitely.
outside. And he found out as beautiful as you are out there, you're even more beautiful in there. And so when people say, oh, yeah, she's so pretty. Oh, yeah, uh-huh. In other words, don't tell me something I don't know. I'll tell
kind
you
of
something
like,
about
you
her
don't
that
know
maybe
half
you're not
of it
going to
sort
know.
of thing.
Something that's deeper than just physically.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But I remember sitting opposite you, and you were so honest, so open, telling me about your family. There was no shame in anything you were saying. It was like, this is you. I was always so used to being so like, don't say this because of this, or don't do that because of this. You were like, oh, this is what it is, and this is what it is, and I said to you, oh, I love your, I love your necklace. And you said, I don't have a necklace, and you had a diamond.
Oh.
And I said,
oh, yeah.
yeah,
This right here.
yeah, and I said, oh, I love that, and then all this stuff. So my first meeting with you was so refreshing, and then going to the different restaurants with you, and then I remember taking pictures of you and Patrick looking like Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet on like the Titanic.
Oh.
Yeah, all cute
Wow.
stuff. So, I mean, it was a pleasure, and it's been a pleasure since the second I met her.
Yeah, it's been such a blessing to have such a good relationship with your mom, with you.
Thank you.
Wow. Yeah, no, it's I couldn't have asked you to connect better,
Oh.
I've you always, it's like you call Amy your real daughter instead of your daughter-in-law.
No, she's not my daughter-in-law.
Lord. Wow, a little bit of Jared Shank came out there,
So long guy.
What
All this.
what are you doing?
I'm taking my hat off.
Are you having problems over here?
Yeah.
Someone commented that they witnessed you yawning.
I always yawn. I have to yawn right now.
Terrell Bateman comments, "Hey, Miss Shand."
I disrespect the whole hip hop community.
Yeah, we had a comment come in on our YouTube that someone was mad that Amy yawned while I was talking about Eminem, and that she disrespected the whole hip hop community.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. I thought so too. So
Hey,
anyway.
you're making so much noise right now.
Alright.
Are you okay?
Yeah,
Okay. God damn.
I'm done.
Oh, you're not. She said, "I'm done."
Cause alright.
What would you say is the craziest thing that you did as a child and that I did as a child? I want to compare these two things to see how similar we really were.
God, I did a couple of crazy things. Let me see. Well, it wasn't a crazy thing. It was a disrespectful thing.
Okay. I love it.
When we had our meals, we always had our meals at the table,
Okay.
the kitchen table.
And this is you, your older sister, your younger sister, and your younger brother, and your mom and dad.
Yes.
Okay.
And we all had our seats, so that we always sat at the same seat.
Okay.
And I remember, I guess I was probably about 16. So Lorraine was still, she was a baby still, maybe still in a high chair. And I was talking, and my mother said something, and I just said, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about." And my father said, "What did you say?" And I said, "She doesn't know what she's talking about, And then he said, "Don't you ever call her she." And I said, and then he kind of got up, and he went after me. And I remember running into my room, and he was going to hit me.
Yeah.
And I remember kicking, and he didn't hit me, but, because he never hit me.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But I got him to that point that he wanted to hit me because I disrespected his wife
Yeah.
and my mom,
That reminds me of my dad's little sister, Mary. My Aunt Mary, when she was younger, used to get in arguments and stuff like that with my grandpa at the dinner table, like, all the time. My dad said she was so, like, defiant.
Oh,
but
wow.
it was more common, because
Yeah,
not just like a one-time thing. She was just such a little brat.
yeah.
Yeah.
This was unusual. I mean,
Right.
And because, our family was very, very touchy and lovey and stuff. And for me to get him that mad,
Right.
I said, holy crap, never call my mother she again or you again. It was like, mommy and...
What I would ask is, did she know what she was talking about at that point? Like, was there a core of correctness in you? Did you feel
Do you
justified?
remember what she was talking
Oh,
about?
No, I don't really remember what but she was right. My mother was right.
Yeah.
You know, I was being very disrespectful because I was a wise ass. You know, yeah, I mean, I was like, you know,
And how old were you?
about 15 or 16.
Oh,
Thought
wow.
my crap didn't stink. No, who's better than me?
Yeah.
And you know, then you realize, you know, and some of the things I did with my sister Maureen, my older sister.
Yeah.
You know, wouldn't, you know, she's on the couch with a boyfriend. I wouldn't leave. You know.
Now, do you still think
I wish I
back-
could know you at that age.
That'd be so fun, right?
Oh my God.
I would love to see you back then. Like, I would love to time travel, right? And just to watch out in the cut, like watching what
Be
a
a fly
young,
on the wall.
oh yeah, what a young Janice Tulty does. You know?
Oh my God.
So funny.
Fake
Now-
hair, fake eyelashes, white lipstick. Oh my
White
God.
lipstick.
White lipstick. Oh
Wow.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh
mhm,
my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow, do you have any pictures of that?
No, probably
Oh, I
not.
would love to see you with white lipstick.
Wow, that's awesome.
Now, before we get to the craziest things that I've done, I want to ask, like, as an adult now, do you look back at those moments of disrespect as a kid, and do you like feel bad and cringe, or do you feel just past that?
Oh, I'm past that because to me, it was a lesson learned,
Yeah.
and I found even more respect for my mother and my father. You know, to say, not that I was, you know, glad he got to that point, but in my mind, it was like, I knew he wasn't going to hit me,
Yeah, yeah,
but that, you know, he cared enough about my mother to not let her kid or anybody ever talk down to her. And that's how my father was. No matter whatever happens in our house, you know, and there was, you know, some icky stuff, you know, just like any household, you know. So, I mean, I'm not saying, oh, my house was so bad. My house was beautiful. Everybody wanted to hang around my house because they saw the love everybody had. But everybody goes through some sad things in their lives and stuff
course.
like that. And no matter what, my dad always said, no matter what happens, we stick together.
yeah.
You know,
Totally.
so nobody can. He's the boss. You know, Mommy's the boss. You know, nobody else is going to tell my father what to do or my mother what to do,
Yeah.
and raising the way we were going to be raised and all that stuff. So that's what I remember about my dad. You know, he left us very young, only 49 years old when he passed. But you know, I remember how he smells. I remember everything.
Yeah,
Totally.
what was he like?
He was the cutest thing ever. You know,
I remember you said that he and your mom were very affectionate towards each other.
very. Always in the bathroom with the door closed. In the room with the door closed, it was like, oh my God, you know, what are you doing? You know, it was, there was only 4 kids. Can you imagine?
Yeah,
But you know, and what I remember, my dad was, he like was full looking, you know, and not heavy, but like full looking. And at the beach, we used to play like Amy, what's the game like where you like, you know, you're in the water and then somebody goes on your shoulders and then
Chicken.
chicken. We used to play chicken, you know, and my father would have either Maureen or me as you know, somebody up on the shoulders, and we had to climb. So you would climb my father, and his legs were so slippery. And I said, "Oh my God, your legs are so." Because I guess he was oily. I said, "Oh my God, your legs are so slippery." And he was like, "Don't say that." And I said, "Well, you are, you know." But you know.
It's so funny
Yeah.
the memories
Yeah.
that you like hold on
But
to.
but he was a wonderful man, you know, wonderful father, you know, strict,
yeah.
but you know, mushy.
Yeah.
I remember he used to go. He got very vain as he got into his 40s, and he used to always go get his hair cut and a shave at the barber shop.
Oh, wow.
And if he didn't notice it, you know, he would be like, "Didn't you notice my hair?" It was like, "Oh no, I didn't."
Really?
Oh, very much so. Yeah.
Kind of had a little bit
Yeah.
of diva in him, you know?
Yeah, and
a little Devo.
all the ladies in the project, they all wanted Eddie, that was my father's name, to
Oh,
come
wow.
and sit on the bench with him because he was a gossip. And my mother was the furthest thing from a gossip.
Yeah.
So they all wanted to hang around my father, you know, and they used to say, "Oh, he can put his slippers under my bed anytime."
Oh my God.
Yeah. And so he would go, "Oh, Maureen, guess what this one said? I could put my mother would, okay, Eddie."
Oh, so she wouldn't get jealous?
Oh, no.
Because he would kind of try to make her jealous.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that was
It
his
wasn't,
game.
it wasn't because she knew, you know, she would never. Yeah.
He'd be like, guess what props I got today?
Yes.
And she'd be like,
Yeah.
all right, cool.
Yeah.
That's just like, I mean, that makes me think that you and your mom are so similar because Amy and I were just talking about how with you how my father and your husband had an ex-wife, right? When you met him, he had already been married and divorced, and the woman's name is Pat, and you are close with Pat. You cherish her, you know.
Yeah.
They cherish each other, really.
Yeah.
They really do. Yeah. We were at Thanksgiving a few days ago, and when you were talking about what you were thankful for, because we went around the table, you gave a beautiful dedication to Pat and how she raised my brothers and your stepsons, and how she essentially gave you 2 children, you know. And yeah, you've always, I think that you don't even realize how good that is, because some people have a hard time imagining their partner with someone else. And the idea that Nanny, your mom, was that way and wasn't ever jealous that way, that's special, I think, you know.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Now, what was a crazy thing that I did under your roof?
Well,
And if I disagree,
Okay.
we can debate this back and forth, you know.
Okay.
We can get down.
okay. One of the things I didn't like that you did,
Oh.
you went to this place. It was a hospital that was closed, and
Yeah.
I think you and the guys broke in. You know, and you did this, and I just said you could have gotten hurt,
Yeah.
and all that stuff. That was crazy. And the thing that
Hold on. First, can I just address
Sure.
this one? The hospital, it was, we called it the haunted hospital. And it was this broken down hospital in Freeport that has since been torn down. There was a panel of wood blocking entrance to the basement, and we broke it off and went in. And it was just covered in graffiti, dust, old medical papers, beer cans, everything there, you know. And we explored it, and we heard a voice in there and ended up running.
That's crazy.
horrible.
Good
That
thing it's
and-
torn down.
Yeah.
And the Yellow Jacket Killer, remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So just not crazy things.
Wait,
just
what's the Yellow Jacket Killer?
You can't just breeze past that.
what would you tell Amy?
That was, well, hold on. I'm not sure which one you're thinking of, because there was the one where I was the victim and one where I was the perpetrator. So the one where I was a victim, I became friends with the kids down the street,
Okay.
Chris Holton, who now believes the earth is flat. And he and his brothers essentially they tricked me kind of, because they knew I was into Goosebumps, right? And they wanted to scare me. So they had a little clubhouse, and Chris, the older brother, dressed in a yellow raincoat, and he was the Yellow Jacket Killer. And he would attack the
You go like,
clubhouse.
zzz,
Oh, that's cute. Yeah.
He just attacked the clubhouse, and but the scariest part,
what do you mean by attacked? Like a banshee? Like,
bang on it, try to get in,
Yeah,
and the
right.
Holtons would like hold the door shut while I screamed and stuff. But the scariest part for real was, and this is like psychological torture. They told me that the Yellow Jacket Killer can only see you at night if you run.
oh.
So I would walk home at night from their house to my house so slow,
Terrified.
fucking terrified the whole way.
That's the best
Yeah.
prank.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
genius.
Yeah.
Especially for someone like you who's
Yeah.
like so in their mind, like, fuck that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I remember that still. I remember
That's
the
some
feeling.
next level bullying right
Yep.
there.
Yep.
That's like some McCamey Manor type shit.
Oh, for real, yeah. And we should talk about that on the podcast
About what?
at some point. It can't matter. But all right, so, and then there was when I did it. I got older and the tables turned, and I became the Shadow Man.
The Shadow Man.
Yeah.
That's the one I know about.
Yep, there were these younger kids, including Antoine, who has been on the podcast, and he believes the Earth is round. He and a few kids, just younger children, you know, like at that point I was about 16.
Like
and,
neighborhood kids.
yeah, they were between 9 and 11, I'd say, and not to put any terroristic vibes out there, but they had a little campsite in a local marina, which had this little forest area.
That sounds so fun.
It was such good times. And one day, Brian Halton and I were here at this home, bored, and we came up with a list of things to do. And I remember I'll remember to the day I die. On the list was bake cookies for elderly people. We were going to go door to door and bake a tray cookies and give them to Norma and Al, give them to Janice across the street, give them to Eddie's grandpa Tata, you know. Or, Bri wrote, scare the children.
Oh.
Yep, and we chose to scare the children.
Oh my God, that was your choice.
Yep, we went to their fort while they weren't there. We rustled it up a little bit, and we got the threatening note saying that when the sun sets is when the Shadow Man arrives. Yep, and we kept doing that over and over again.
You guys are sick.
Yep, and then we brought it up in conversation with them.
Like, you guys know the Shadow Man?
Yeah,
Like that.
and we said that we were given similar notes, you know, and that we planned this, we planned pretty much an encounter with the Shadow Man.
An ambush.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Where,
Your mom's so intrigued.
yep, where,
Disappointed.
you're right, Chris was the only one who could drive at this point.
Okay.
And he was, this is pretty gangster. He wasn't involved in this, right? But he was going to help be my accomplice. But he wasn't openly involved. He was like the wild card, right? Bri, his brother Kev, and the young children were going toward the marina for the first dusk showdown with the Shadow Man.
Oh, God.
Because he said, the next time you come, I'm going to be there. And I was going with them too. And then, I, at the last minute, I told them that I had to go home for a barbecue first, and that I would meet them there afterwards. So,
He got you involved, Mom.
I tell you.
So they're on the way, right? And instead of going home, like say the area where they're meeting the Shadow Man at the marina is about 5 blocks from home.
Okay.
So to them, I leave and go to my house. Chris was waiting for me in front of my house. So he went the back way, so I got there first as the Shadow Man. I put on a screen mask backwards, so it's like a black cloth over my face. And when they get there, it couldn't be me because I left.
You went to a barbecue.
And I went to a barbecue, and I couldn't have beaten them there because they would have seen me
Because
walking
you don't
there.
walk. Yeah, because you're walking.
Yep. And they see me come out, and as I come out, the police arrive.
Are you serious?
The police come, yeah.
Did someone call the police to catch the Shadow Man?
Yep. One of the children told his mother about this event, and she was like, "This is insane. I'm calling the
Yep,
police."
if I was a mom, I would do the same thing.
Yeah.
Yep. So the police came, and
Did
they
you get
came.
arrested for bullaicing?
No, they came to me, and this is the best part.
You said, it's a cat.
This is the best part. So, I forgot who was filming. But Bri probably, he was filming this.
I want to see this.
He's
so
with
bad.
the group, right?
To
And
see the reaction, right?
Yep.
What,
one of the young kids had a theory that it was this other kid, this bully kid from their block, who I had never even met.
There's another bully kid.
His name was his last name was Salisbury.
Oh.
So
Like steak?
Yup. So the video has, and we're like at a distance because I'm stalking toward them, and they go, "Oh, he's there!" And then the cops come, and I demask, and Salisbury is like a pale kid with blonde hair, and you hear someone go, "It's Salisbury," and then someone goes, "It's bad. It's bad." So what?
An asshole.
What?
God.
It's bad.
Now
He was so betrayed in that moment.
Oh yeah, it was like a reveal.
It's probably Antoine, heartbroken, crying himself to sleep like Pat did that.
You were called by parents about this, right?
You know, I don't really remember. I mean, I
You
know
were the
I know about the
culprit.
cops coming and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
you know, I don't really remember any downsides to it. You know, only because you were basically a nice person.
Basically.
Just got
For the
caught.
most
Just got
part.
caught up with this whole.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Because you know what? It felt like the tables had turned.
It's real R.L. Stein type shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I grew up as the victim.
The scared boy.
And I was able now to just switch the tables, and I was able to be the fucking big
was
So
bad
what
guy.
scared.
what did the
Scary.
cops say to you?
Yeah.
They were like, "What are you doing?" And
You should have showed him your list.
right, and they were like, "You should have chose the fucking cookies, you idiot kid." But no, I just explained to them what it was, and I said, "Those are my friends,
Right.
there." And Bride was with them, so he covered for me. You know,
Oh, that was good.
and Bride was like, "Oh no, it's just a joke."
Yeah, oh,
And-
good.
But
Thank goodness for Bri.
Aw,
yeah,
yeah.
you know.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Do you remember when you yelled at me on the phone when I was at the movies?
Yes, I do.
Talk about that.
Yes, I do.
I don't know. I forget all the circumstances up to the point, but
Not
you were
me.
supposed to. You were supposed to be home, and you weren't, and I didn't know where you were, and then I kept on calling, and then you would answer your phone, and I said, get home, and you said, blah blah blah, and I just said, I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I don't know what prompted all this, but because you lied to me, I guess. I don't know. I shouldn't even say lie because I honestly don't remember, but I remember screaming at you on the phone,
Oh, yeah.
"Get yourself home right now," you
Yep.
know? And then you hung up on me,
I sure did.
And then I called you again, and you said, "Mom, I'm in the movies," and blah, blah, blah. And you were trying, you didn't yell, you were trying to be nice and everything. And I said, "Just get your ass home right now," and,
Yeah.
all that,
She doesn't care about the movie
Yeah.
you're in right now.
Yeah, I was livid with you.
Okay.
Livid, because you were disrespectful.
Okay.
You weren't nasty on the phone, but you didn't do what I said, and I was in charge of you, and I wanted you to be there, to
Okay.
be home.
So, remember the time that I apologized about the Pokemon magazine confusion?
Okay, yes.
Now, the tables have turned. Okay, I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to tell you the real story.
Okay.
In that situation, you were 100% in the wrong. Are you ready for this?
Not really, but whatever.
Okay. So, I had a curfew. The curfew at the time was 11 p.m. You were calling me at 5 p.m. I'm going to tell you why you were so upset. You were upset because I was with a gentleman named Jonathan Castillo, and we were on a double date. I was on a date with a girl who I didn't like named Amy. Not the same as this one, okay? Why are you so far over there? What happened that the angle changed?
I leaned back.
Oh, you're so far away now. I don't know how to fix this. There you go. Thank you so much for making it so easy.
I liked it before.
Where you were hardly in the
Yeah.
screen? Very good. Ooh, don't piss me off, Joe. Amy? Imagine being divorced, you know?
No.
So we're on a double date, and I was with a different Amy, right? An Amy that I wasn't really connecting with,
Right.
but we were physically making out during the movie. And just so you know, the movie was garbage. The movie was Tim Burton's Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, whatever. It was horrible, horrible movie.
Willy Wonka.
Yeah. You were calling me because Jonathan's mother was calling you because he was past curfew. And she was bothering you because she knew that I was out with him. And he had no cell phone at the time. So the only connect was not from her to him, but from you to me to help her out.
Yeah, but if I called you at 5 p.m.,
Yes.
what was his curfew?
He was supposed to be home for dinner.
Okay. And you weren't?
No. Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, I do remember this.
Yes! Yes! So,
Yeah.
stop twitching.
But I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay. However,
Oh, okay.
if this woman is calling me and she's concerned about her son,
Okay.
okay, I would have wanted you and him to just say to the girls, we're going to have to call this date finished because his parents are worried about him and, I'm just going to go along with my friend. You could have gotten out of making out with somebody who you didn't even like anyway. So in the long run, I'm fine.
Oh, okay. Can I counter?
Yes.
To me, it is morally incorrect to answer the phone during the movies. I had enough concern for you to be like, no, I'm in the movies. Hang up.
Mm-hmm.
What can I say,
And that's what I said. You were very respectful as far as that.
Yeah.
But I wanted you to come home. Simple as that. Just get your body home.
Yeah.
That was-
Get your
that was-
ass home pretty
Yes,
much.
yes. I was so angry.
I know you were.
Yeah.
I've actually never seen you as angry.
Yeah.
I've done so much worse stuff.
Oh, yeah, but other stuff I don't know about, so I'm okay.
There's one more thing I want to talk to you about me being naughty, and then we can see if Amy has any questions. We can wrap up some questions for you in the chat. But because we've been going almost an hour.
Oh,
Well, first of all, how does it feel podcasting right now?
it's not my thing,
What do you mean? You're just talking to me.
I know. No, but I'm just saying, I don't,
How do you feel right now?
yeah. I would have this conversation
Yeah.
just with the three of us.
Okay.
That's what my thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But I'm happy
Because
to
you're
have
just
you
more
on.
of a private person.
Yeah,
But we're super glad that you joined us so that everyone got to meet you, sort of, like our friends.
yeah.
And plus, this is going to be a memory that we always cherish.
Exactly.
Yes.
We're going to be able to watch this forever.
Yes, okay. For that's fine.
And that's beautiful. It's
Yeah.
almost like home videos.
Yeah,
you
home
know?
movies and stuff. Yeah, it's true.
I love the home movies that you and Dad made.
That was your father making them.
He would
See?
Beautiful.
So private.
Beautiful, yeah.
I mean, we've spoken about this before. He would there was actual video, but my favorite was when he would take he would set up a slide show. He would project slides onto the wall, and he would have the stereo playing music while he recorded it on video.
He was like the very first PowerPoint.
Oh, yeah.
Unbelievable
Oh,
the
yeah.
stuff he did.
It, it was amazing, you know.
Especially because he really didn't know what he was doing.
Exactly. That's why I
And
say it's
it
like
was
the
like-
first
it was-
PowerPoint,
it was
'cause
like-
someone
yeah.
made a program,
And
but
he-
he was doing it before.
Yeah, unbelievable.
This was this.
Unbelievable
Oh, yeah.
how, a lot of cursing and stuff like that. But I tell you, the memories are beautiful that we have,
Dad was very much like he would love to do things his way, and what I realized looking back is like when he was doing stuff on the computer, I would try to give tips and help him with stuff, but really, I think he just preferred to do things his way. Like he
It was
preferred
like
to.
his ritual of how
Right.
he put it together
Right.
too.
Right.
And then
just
when he
liked to do
when,
it.
and it worked out, it was like kudos for me. Look what I
Yeah.
did. It's like that pride.
And there's a big part of that in me too. You
Oh
know?
yeah.
What was I going to ask you? It was something. Man, it was something that we discussed here. Oh my god. Oh. Okay. We had a whole episode about this.
And not the pinch, is it?
No.
Oh, good. Okay.
You brought up the page. Let me bring that up.
Okay.
It's about when I'm going to tell you the story.
Okay.
It's probably, to me, the worst thing I did before I was 10.
Okay.
I was at school,
Oh yeah.
and there was a Christmas fair where you could go and buy gifts for people. And I didn't know about it, so I hadn't asked for any money.
Right.
Ricky, who lived a few doors down, was there, and I told her that you forgot to give me money, and that I was supposed to go there and buy gifts for you and Dad.
Okay.
And she ended up lending me money, and I bought these 2 rubbery monster race cars.
One for Dad.
Yeah, and one for you. The fucking balls, you know? Do you remember that?
No.
You don't remember that? Oh my god. Scot-free, dude,
Yeah.
you know?
Scot-free.
See,
So who paid her back though?
you.
I paid her back.
Oh, yeah, and
Well,
guess
you were
what?
pissed
Yeah.
about
Yeah. I
it.
don't remember.
You
yeah.
were horrified at the time.
Yeah. Yeah. I honestly don't remember.
That
Yeah.
you could
Yeah.
think of such a manipulation
Yeah.
at a young age. like
Imagine that. And that wasn't really, that was out of character.
Yeah.
But the thing was, I wanted those so bad, you
A little
know?
con
Yeah.
man, you know?
Yeah.
I was like a little Sawyer, you know?
Exactly.
I wanted those so bad, and I still have them.
Do you?
They're here somewhere.
Oh, okay. Probably up in the attic somewhere.
Yeah, we should see if we can find
You
them.
have to look through your attic.
Definitely. Now, final questions from the chat. Someone comments, It's Randall Begins comments. It'd be hilarious if you start adding a counter to the videos for every time Amy yawns. LOL. She's joining
that's
right
I just
now.
did. I was just thinking that.
Randall Begins comments. Pat, does your mom know about my spaghetti? I'd love to hear her thoughts. Your mom sounds so nice. See, this is a friend of ours. The thing about Randall's spaghetti is that it's so gross. He will. I can't even describe it. He'll put slices of cheese on it. And instead of cooking it, he'll cook the spaghetti and then put the spaghetti with 3 to 5 circles of provolone cheese in the microwave.
Right.
And melt the provolone cheese that way and then mix it up. And then he'll add, and I'm not exaggerating, he'll add about 3/4 a bottle of Parmesan cheese to one meal.
It's cheesy.
Yeah.
To me, it's dry. You
It's
know?
a little overwhelming, but maybe it doesn't put like a little bit of butter on it just to get it like a little wet.
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
But you seem pretty. You seem to think that this could be pretty good, actually.
What the what? The
It's
spaghetti?
probably the same
Yeah.
amount of cheese technically as like macaroni and cheese.
Yeah. It's like fettuccine Alfredo.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I should show you guys this video and see if you want.
I did see the video though, and it is kind of gross.
Yeah.
Okay.
But speaking of mac and cheese and pasta, I saw some Velveeta because you're making it as a side tonight.
I am. Yeah.
I'm super excited.
I really am.
I love mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Pat is making a Thanksgiving meal tonight because we were lucky enough to be invited to because my family's in California and we're going to see them in February. But for the holidays we're here and we went to his brother's house. His family got together and we were there, so we got to eat there. But Pat really likes to cook that meal himself too. Like it's like one of his favorite hobbies is cooking, and that's one of his favorite meals. So although their meal was delicious, he just wants to cook it himself, like his own turkey in the oven. So we brought all that stuff here, and now we're just gonna be chilling and eating that.
Yeah.
Plus Velveeta.
Now, do you have any parting words from Mom?
Just thank you so much for being on the podcast with us, and yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna watch them. Her and I are gonna watch them like True Crime Daily while you cook.
I know.
I'm super excited.
Do you have anything final to say to end?
No, just that I'm glad that I did it, but I'm glad that it's over.
Okay.
No, yeah, I'm proud of you because
yeah.
first you were like, no,
Yeah.
but then you were like, sure, and we were super excited, and this was successful, I think.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
She was like, no. And then she said, yeah.
Exactly.
What I want to say is that just so you know, Mom and I grew up reading together. You know, she would she had this ironing board. She would put a blanket, a sheet over the ironing board. We would go under like two campers, you know, and read. We read Goosebumps together. The first book we ever read together was The Barking Ghost. So a lot of what I do in my career, I do always thanks to you, you know. And
you're still such a huge support to him and us.
Oh yeah, I mean, my favorite thing to do. I mean, ever since I was young, I would love to read and watch TV with you. Like some of my most cherished memories are sitting with you. We watched all of Buffy and Angel and Veronica Mars, and now we've done that with 6 Feet Under. We're doing that with Lost now with me, you, and Amy. And just thank you for an amazing life.
Well, thank you for being my son and for marrying my daughter.
Hell yeah. Anytime. I'll do it again.
Pleasure.
I'll renew those vows.
That's what I thought it would be a nice idea.
Yeah, totally.
You know, like
We
it's
should do
like
it in like 5 years.
I was just going to say 5 years.
Yeah.
And would be nice probably to do it, you know, like in California, because you did it here.
Well, as long as you guys can come, like you and
Well, he'll, you know, I'll just go, you know,
That's a good idea to
you
do it
plan
in
on
California.
vacation,
Yeah.
you know, and then I'll get vacation, I'll be there, you know, or whatever.
Do a
I know
ceremony.
it depends on wherever you're going to be in the future.
Totally.
You know, might be that you're there, then I'll come for the wedding and stuff like that. You know, or we don't know what tomorrow brings.
we don't.
You know, but I'm just saying I thought 5 years would be a nice thing.
That's good, yeah.
You know, and a nice thing for your mom and dad to have, even though they were here, but you know. And your brothers were here, but still, like, you know, your friends and where you grew up.
Yeah.
So I
Totally.
think it's a nice thing
and
to
maybe
kind
we'll
of
wear my wedding dress there. Too.
yeah,
That'd be so fun.
yeah. So I think that would be nice.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I
So
kinda
start
wanna-
saving.
Yeah, right? I kind of want to end with a rap, okay?
Oh my god.
We're talking about when we renew our vows. I love her so much, I might want to do it now.
Oh god.
We're here. I'm about to make a Thanksgiving dinner.
Yep.
dude.
Oh my god.
We shared some stories about both of us being rude. Mom to her mom, me to her. When I wanted those Pokemon cards instead of that magazine, bruh.
Oh my god.
That's the end. Thank you so much for doing. Thank you so much for doing this.
You're welcome. Thanks for
Yeah,
having
thanks for
me.
being on.
All right,
And
everyone.
thanks you guys for joining us. We'll see you soon.
Dum 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 dum
Space between. Space between. Space between. Space between. Space between.